When life gets you down, you know what you gotta do? Just keep swimming, just keep swimming. All right, what is up, my friends? Welcome to another video here on CoolStuffInc.com. Playing some Modern today, and a pretty exciting one here. Now, this deck's been floating around for a little bit now. I know David Bishop has been playing versions of it, and kind of just been the talk of the Merfolk discourse. Not that I'm super privy to that, but I know Nikic, MTG, some of them. And this is a newer version of Modern Merfolk. And where are the Aether Vials? Kind of an interesting little piece of tech here in Utopia Sprawl. So, of course, Aether Vial, kind of a victim of Prismatic Ending. Prismatic Ending, one of the best cards in the format for Modern Horizons 2. Super easy answer to Aether Vial. So you keep your one land hand with Aether Vial. It looks really, really good. Usually Aether Vial is inassailable, but they just ending it, and now your hand sucks. So the solution here for some of these Merfolk players is to play Utopia Sprawl instead. And kind of a weird one here. Obviously, one green enchantment, enchants a forest, choose a color, taps for an extra color. So now why are you playing Utopia Sprawl in this mostly blue deck? Well, the reality is that another Modern Horizons 2 card, because every Modern Horizons 2 card is a Modern Horizons 2 card in Modern Horizons 2, Modern Horizons 2 format. Whatever, of Sea and Sky, blue 1 for a Merfolk god. Probably the best Merfolk ever printed. A 3/4 legendary creature for 3. Whenever it attacks, you draw a card. Has indestructible if you control 2 more Merfolk. And all their Merfolk control have word 1. So there's an unbelievable amount of stats here. Resist Lightning Bolt, pretty durable body. Of course, with other Merfolk in play, it's indestructible. It's a card draw engine. Basically everything a Merfolk deck could want, because Merfolk decks always had the problem of not having enough individual raw power level. It was always, I got to get these crappy creatures in play with these crappy 2/2 lords for 2. And this card is individually very powerful. And with Utopia Sprawl, you can cast it on turn 2, which is just honestly pretty insane. So turn 2, Svyelun, Noble Hierarch, and stand in for that as well. Green also gives us access to company. When you're playing Aether Vial, don't usually have enough mana for company, but with playing a few more lands and Utopia Sprawl, we do have mana for company, and company is obviously phenomenally good. Just a very, very powerful card in general. Also really cool is that Merrow Reejerey is really, really good with Utopia Sprawl, because if you played Reejerey before, you know you can use it to untap your lands and help cast more spells. Well, if you're untapping Utopia Sprawl, that's just double the mana for each Merfolk you cast. So very easy to dump your whole hand. Also easy to cast Merfolk Reejerey on turn 2 with Sprawl. So that's very exciting as well. Otherwise, a lot of the usual stuff here. Silvergill Adept. The lords. Only 6 lords besides Reejerey. Lord of Atlantis. Honestly, again, like the plan of play crappy Merfolk, play 2/2 for 2 if it's a lord, and get critical mass. Not always the best plan, and why I never liked Merfolk that much as a deck. But this deck is a lot more robust with a lot more individually powerful cards, and leaning more on the best card in Sea and Sky. Also playing Realmwalker, a little more card advantage, another good hit off company, and a good thing to cast on turn 2. Tideshaper helps make lands into islands. Couple Noble Hierarchs for extra 1-drop action. Mana base is full of forest, of course. A ton of fetch lands in Breeding Pool, because you have to have a forest on turn 1 for Sprawl. And then, obviously, we're playing a little more lands than a Merfolk deck would usually play, but we're supplementing with a few Mutavaults here, so a little extra creatures in the lands that can also cast your companies and things like that. Sideboard's got free counter spells here in Force of Negation and Subtlety. Dismember is obviously great. Not playing Vial allows you to play Collector Ouphe, which is pretty awesome. And, of course, Relic's great, too. So, that's the deck. I'm pumped to play it and give it a try. First, quick word from our sponsor, CoolStuffInc.com.
CoolStuffInc is proud to sponsor Jim Davis. We offer great deals on card games, tabletop RPGs, board games, and more. Get a free token featuring Jim Davis and take 5% off your next order if you use the code JIM5 at checkout. CoolStuffInc.com. Cool stuff in stock.
All right, round 1 on the play, rocking and rolling. No companions here, just some fishy folks. Opponent's playing Lurrus. Surprise, surprise. And we've got an okay hand. Not great. No acceleration. We do have a 1-drop, 2-drop, and 3-drop. We're on the play. We're going to keep. We're not super thrilled about it, but we're going to keep. Tideshaper here. If they're playing a blue deck, obviously much better. It gets +1/+1 as long as they have an island. Playing on turn 1, I think regardless, we're not going to try and use it to turn a land into an island. Just going to get our game on here. Fetch a basic island. Get things rocking and rolling. Already have our Breeding Pool and our green sources. Tide Shaper, the humble Tide Shaper. 1/1 Merfolk Wizard for 1. Opponent mulligan to 6 or 7. Ink Moth Nexus. So a little hammer time action. This is probably going to be difficult. We don't really have much interaction. Their draw is really, really good. And I'm not going to lie, we're probably going to get crushed this game. Collector Ouphe out of the board will be a nice one, but they have a very good draw here. And we just don't really have. We have a very fair kind of mopey draw. And we're probably going to get destroyed. That's okay, though. Hammer Time, of course, one of the best decks in the format. Is it possible they turn to us here? It is. If they just have a hammer as well, we're just dead. Nope. Just Stoneforge, which can get hammer, play hammer on Memnite, and we're effectively dead. I mean, they're going to have an attack for 11 this turn. Other Memnite. Attack, no blocks. Interesting. So they're not going to go for the 10 damage. They're just going to try and kill us with Nexus next turn. That's also fine, I guess. I mean, we're going to pretend like we have something. We're going to hold up the Misty, play Lord, attack, and they're going to kill us. I guess I could also play us defensively, too. I don't know, we'll see what they do. We're effectively dead. So, very powerful draw from a very powerful deck. Once we board, though, we get to board some interaction in. Obviously, we have Collector Ouphe and Dismember, which is a pretty big game. Force of Negation is a possibility as well, honestly. Yeah, so they're going to cast Hammer, put it here, they're going to kill us. So, yeah, that's fine. That's fine. So, bringing our Ouphs, bring our Dismembers. I think I want some number of forces, honestly. And what are we going to shave here? Realmwalker looks pretty bad. Tide Shaper, it's just kind of weak overall. It's not a very powerful card. I think we're interacting a little bit more. And then, honestly, like Silvergill Adept is like, it's one of the best cards of a deck, but like, we're kind of like racing. Maybe we got some Lords too, I think. Just get it down to, Trickster's pretty nice, obviously, as far as stopping their stuff. I think 3 forces is fine. Don't necessarily want to go overboard with force, but maybe we want the 4th force. They're not really going to mess up my Sprawls or my Hierarchs. I could actually see boarding out a land, board out one of these Mutavaults maybe. Be a little greedy, or bringing in a lot of free spells and cheap spells. It's 21 lands. I think we still want company. Even though it's a little slower. I can see shaving a company also, I guess. Do something like this. Yeah, I think I like this. Let's try this. We're also, our creature count goes down a bit too, so shaving company seems reasonable. So, on the play. We weren't necessarily like dead that game, but we were pretty close to being in the abyss already. So, not exactly the fastest clock. Gonna mulligan this new lander into a awful 5-lander. Opponent keeps 7. Good start. Good start to our league. I don't know if we can keep this hand. This hand's just atrocious. All right, we're going to 5. It's at least better. So we can keep this. We can ship a Master of the Pearl Trident and a Reejerey. I don't think there's a reason to keep 2 Reejereys, though one's obviously very, very good. I guess Reejerey's just better than Master is, right? Let's actually get rid of Master. So we have our Utopia Sprawl draw, which is pretty sweet. Let's shock that in. Play Sprawl, name blue. We have double Reejerey, turn 1, turn 2, and turn 3. Of course, not great defensively, but Drum. Thopter. Another good drum draw. Oh my god, just a... All right, well, the ideal turn one, back-to-back games here. Probably not good for us. Play Reejerey. Say go. Need to draw all spells. No more lands, please. Pay 2 for Pure Steel Paladin. Play 1 for Shadow Spear. Draw a card. Yeah. Yeah, this is a really good hand. This is a really good hand. That's another land. Okay, I think we're dead. Thanks for playing. Thanks for playing. So, pretty bad hand this game. Pretty good hands for our opponent. A little surprised there's a Spreading Seas in this deck. Might be an option to have with company and stuff like that, but obviously we're against Urza Saga. Tide Shaper sort of does the same thing. It does feel like we were playing Standard and they were playing Vintage, but they can start making constructs. Ornithopter gets the Shadow Spear. Do they have the Hammer too? No. Wow. Lucky. Problem is I just... Oh, wait, what? Oh, sure. Okay. I mean... Cool feature of Merfolk Trickster is that it removes the abilities. I guess it would still live, actually. And there's a Silvergill Adept. So you can... we can cast as Adept and untap our land a couple times, but I think we're comically dead. Untap his land. Just gonna untap it again. Try and get lucky here and draw into company or something. Or land. Alrighty then. Yeah, pretty embarrassing first match here. Not gonna lie. Just getting absolutely clowned by very good Hammer Time draws, and our draws have been pretty bad. Yeah, they're just gonna get a hammer and kill us. Okay, tough first match. Tough first match. 0-1. 0-1. All right, round 2 on the draw. And pretty bad hand. We're looking for our Utopia Sprawls on our Noble Hierarchs. You know, you got to make those 1-drops happen. And this one's not doing it. We're going to mulligan this hand on the draw. Turn 2 Lord of Atlantis with nothing in play is not exciting. We can do better than this. And part of the thing is that with Svyelun available to draw cards, you know, we can be a little more greedy. Opponent mulligans 6 also. No companion. We're going to keep this not as good. I think we're going to ship the Tide Shaper. Get a tap land, play Adept on 2, try and draw a 3rd land for Svyelun. I suppose the 1-drop does mean that we can have an indestructible Svyelun in theory on turn 3. We're on the draw, so we'll see what they do. Keep this. I'm going to ship Trickster. I'm going to keep the 1-drop, so you have the option to go up the curve. Watery Grave. Look at that. We got Isamaru, the Houndaconda. Watery Grave untapped and discard spell. So feels bad to mulligan into a discard spell, but that's okay. That's okay. We got Silvergill Adept. We got company. We got Mutavault. We got some value. Got some value. They take the Tide Shaper. So they must have more discard because that's definitely the weakest card in our hand. Maybe planning on a second discard spell to take the Sylveon and trying to strand the Silvergill in my hand. Well, we draw a Sprawl, which is pretty nice. So get our breeding pool. Play Sprawl, name blue, say go. So now you have access to turn 2 God or turn 3 company possibly. So if their plan was to Thoughtseize my Sea and Sky and strand my Silvergill Adept, at least we're closer to company. Oh. Flagstones of Trogear. That was unexpected. Sure. We draw Tide Shaper. So now the question is, do we just play this Sylveon into possible counter spells, removal spells, etc.? I think we're just gonna play a land here. We're gonna make blue. We're gonna cast the Silvergill revealing Tide Shaper and just cast Tide Shaper. Just draw a card, play a 1-drop. That's pretty good. So now you have 4 power in play. We have mana to cast Company next turn. We have 2 good 3-drops. And so we'll see a Faithful Mending, so some sort of Reanimator deck here. They discard Liliana of the Veil and land. So thankfully, no Archon. So they don't have their good Archon Persist draw. Land number 3. Crack the fetch. Shock. Yes, no, maybe. Yes, no, maybe. What has been looted can be restored. The church lives on within us. So it comes in tapped, so kind of a weird main phase fetch. Flagstones is also kind of interesting. Don't usually just like play Flagstones in your deck. Gotta have a pretty solid reason for it. We're going to untap. And we're going to draw a Realmwalker. So we have a lot of good 3s here. I think I'm pretty fine just casting a God here. We have 2 Merfolk in play, so it's indestructible. Gives them ward. Highest upside card. Play Reejerey here, and it just dies maybe. With the God being indestructible, I'm just like really, really happy playing that right now. Realmwalker, some good grind also. Again, not exactly sure what they're doing. They just put that land in tapped and then didn't flashback mending and it didn't do anything else either. So I don't really know what's going on, but our board's pretty good. Our board is pretty good. Godless Shrine, shock. Smallpox. Okay, so sure. This is annoying, but whatever. We lose Tide Shaper, Mutavault, and probably Realmwalker. They obviously can sack their Flagstones, get a land, which is very adorable. Very glad we played the God now, because now we can draw some more cards. If they have a Path to Exile here, that would be annoying, but would have been annoying anyway, I suppose. Not sure what the holdup is here. So we'll discard Realmwalker. We're short on lands, so sack Tide Shaper. They discard a Liliana. Sacrifice Flagstones. Do their whole Flagstones thing. They have 1 card left and 4 mana. And a white floating. Small Box is a cool card. It is a cool card. All right, so untap. And we draw a land. In the upkeep. Take away a few things, and rebellion may ensue. Take away everything, and the oppression will be accepted as fate. So you have 2 mana available right now. We're going to jam for 2. Try and draw land. Or jam with both of our creatures. Get in, draw a card off the thingy, draw a land. Awesome. And we're going to play the land. And the question is, do we play the Reejerey or do we play the Hierarch? I'm just going to cast Reejerey, I think. Obviously, post-combat Reejerey is kind of annoying, but Navis is indestructible. They have a Wrath effect. I believe this would live through it, which is very good for us because we're pretty far ahead on board. They're at 7. Land means we can company. Esper mana tapped. Flashback Mending. Prismatic Ending the God. So that sucks, but we'll live. Untap and draw another one. So obviously we can just play this. We can tap or untap. Something doesn't really do anything for us. So we're just going to fire up the attack first. They're at 2. I'm going to untap my Sprawl and just cast the Hierarch. Again, if they have a Wrath, my thing will live anyway. Have the mana for company in case, I don't know. It's also just fodder. So if they play an edict effect of some kind, I can sacrifice the Hierarch. So even a Arcana Cruelty here wouldn't do it. Maybe not. Flashback Mending. Gain 2 life. Draw 2, discard 2. Discarding 2 lands. Alright, so opponent spun wheels and died. We like that. We like that. Alright, so definitely got some graveyard stuff going on with Faithful Mending. Probably don't want these relics. Small box is pretty good, but at the same time, I don't think it's like the end of the world. We have Trickster, which isn't super exciting. I think Lord's pretty good. Realmwalker is fine if things get a little grindy. If things get a little more unfair, it's not great. Relics. Big question is, do you want Force of Negation or not? That's the real big question. Tricksters, Realmwalker. Definitely want all the 1-drops to play on Liliana. I just want to have a crappy creature in play if possible. Injury Silvergill. Yeah, I don't think I want forces. It's possible they're playing Teferi also, in which case the forces might end up going dead. I think we're just going to shave a Realmwalker. Just keep it simple. Bring these relics in. Could see an argument towards cutting a land on the draw with the relics coming in, but they're playing small box, so I don't want to be too greedy. They are playing LD effectively. All right, they are on the play. We have a double relic hand with only 1 land. I don't love it. I don't love it. I'm not going to lie. They keep 7. We are on the draw, and we're guaranteed to turn 1 relic, even through a Thoughtseize effect. I mean, you draw a ladder hand's really, really good. You can cycle the relics. I'm going to keep. We draw a lander hand is really good. If they have discard to slow us down, we have relic anyway. We can cycle the relic if we have to. We have a 1-drop. We have multiple 2-drops. Master. Marsh Flats. Cracking it. Gonna see that discard spell. Not a problem. pretty redundant hand. Maybe interested in Tide Shaper. Can't take me off Relic, can't take me off Lord, so take the unique card. Seems reasonable. We draw land? Yes, we can. Better lucky than good. Better lucky than good. I'm gonna get a breeding pool. Shock it in. Play Relic. Start working on that graveyard. We've now remove the element of reanimating Archon of Cruelty, assuming that's what they're doing. I mean, I assume that's what they're doing. And we'll see what happens next turn. Both the Entomb and the Reanimate effect are both sorcery speed. I suppose Faithful Mending can put a card in the graveyard at instant speed, which is kind of annoying. Although Fetid Heath cannot cast Faithful Mending. So those two lands cannot cast Mendings. Therefore, we're not scared of them going and ending on our mending on our end stars. They're gonna play Smallpox. That kind of sucks, but we can make it work. Game has a low resource game here. We sacrifice, we discard a Trickster. We sacrifice our land. They discard a Sarah's Emissary, which is fine. We have the ability to exile stuff. So they have 3 cards in hand. We have 4. We're equal on lands as of right now. We draw another Relic. I guess I didn't need to fetch there, whatever. I could have waited, unfortunately, we got to leave up our Relic, I think, because they have land persist. We just lose to the Sarah's Emissary. Not really in a rush here. We're going to pop the Relic end step anyway and look for another land. And they have also missed on land. So, of course, the Smallpox is a double-edged sword. They lose resources as well. So now they only have a Water Grave in play. I think we're fine just casting a creature this turn. Getting the board, we drew a land also. It's pretty great. So start playing creatures. And we can have Relic up next turn. Nothing they can do on their end step will require me to Relic this turn. So Fetid Heath again. Another Smallpox. All right, so we are playing the lowest resource game of all time. We are going to discard, I guess, a Relic. And sacrifice the island. They discard Liliana. I mean, they're going to 2 cards in hand and 1 land. So right now we're up 1 card on them. And nothing scary in the graveyard that we need to worry about as far as them reanimating. So we can play pretty safely. Just cast our Merfolk here. Another Smallpox would be pretty annoying, I'm not going to lie. But Smallpox is technically card disadvantage. Each player loses 1 thing, but they also lose the Smallpox. So each player loses 3 cards, but they also lose Smallpox. They lose 4 cards. So if you're not getting value off of flagstones or discarding a card for value or something like that, you're not really getting anywhere. If I sack a creature and they don't, it's a 3 for 3, which is just card. It was just even. So I guess that's an inherent advantage. But they were on the play this game, so down a card. They now have 2 mana and 2 cards. And tap, and we draw a breeding pool. So we can cast our god here. But they did shock in this land, so I think that them playing a Faithless Mending is a reasonable thing to happen. And if they play that into Persist, I want to have an answer. So first, play the Relic here. Play the Relic. They're already at 10, so I think we're doing fine as far as pressuring them. Play a land too. Freaking Grizzly Bears here getting the job done. There's your Mending end step. So smart play, Jim. Playing around potential reanimation this turn. They discard a Persist, sure. Again, Mending also technically card disadvantage. Unless you're discarding for a good value. Alright. Okay. So, no land. I think we would like to draw land here. Or any spell that costs 2 or less. Merrow Reejerey. I don't want to tap out of my Relic, so I'm just attacking for 2 here. Doesn't feel awesome, but I don't think they're going to be able to really do much to us as long as this Relic is here and they're stuck on lands. And, you know, most of the cards in our deck are lands or cards that cost less than 3. We will draw one of those at some point. Inquisition of Kozilek, sure. The cards in our hand are fairly redundant and hard to cast. You know, playing 1/3 drop or the other is whatever if we draw a land. So once I get both these cards, whatever. Take the God, no problem. We could crack the Relic here, because now we're at a point where they can't end step Mending into Persist. But then we're just casting Reejerey and attacking for 3. I'm just going to wait. I think I'm fine just leaving the Relic in play. Land or Chief Spell here is good. Drawing the Reejerey, unfortunately. That's fine. They go to 8. Draw up to 3 cards. And passing the turn again. Draw land or Chief Spell. Land. Cool. And a good land. Actually, a really good land. So, good draw there. Very good draw. We just played 2 creatures at once and had mana for Relic. Usually want to Relic them first chance you get because just they get to choose the card anyway. Might as well give them less options. They just untap. Draw up to 4 cards in hand. We got lethal with the Mutavault, so crack a fetch, go to 4. This has got to be the game, right? What could they possibly have here? Black. They just play Liliana. They're just super dead, so fire up Mutavault, sack Mutavault, and kill them. Cool. So much better match there. Much better match there. They go to 4. I already played a land. Unless they have like Solitude or something, we're ready to go. All right, so 1-1. A little better looking match there. All right, round number 3. Lurrus of the Dream Den is here. And we're having a real hard time drawing Utopia Sprawl or Noble Hierarch in our opening hand. We are on the draw this game. We do have double 1-drop, and we're going to keep this hand. I don't think we can really mulligan this hand. Just 1/1, 2, 3 with Mutavault and good mana. I'm sad we don't have a 1-drop, but I think this is fine. We're going to see a Suspire. All right, so a little Bernie action, which is probably going to be pretty punishing for our hand, honestly. And we're going to... All right. I guess we're just playing Tideshaper. I mean, the 1/1 for 1, not super exciting. We could fetch up a duel and just not take any damage off of it. But I think we're just going to get an island and cast the 1-drop. See what kind of red deck they are. They just played a mountain. No, I mean, they could be actual burn. They could be prowess deck, Riftbolt, Scalding Tarn. Sure, still like actual burn. We draw another island. Okay, I mean, we can like Trickster down the Suspire. It's probably gonna be a big turn for them as far as passing spells. So just attack for 1, play island, Trickster down the Suspire. It's not the worst. Drawing island means we take less damage, which is kind of cool as well. We can fetch a forest if we have to, as far as not taking damage. End step Foundry, untapped, and bolt me. So very, very aggressive here because they're choosing to not take the prowess trigger and just end step bolt me. Meaning they have enough resources to get it done anyway, which is kind of scary. But we're going to Trickster anyway. So unless they're just playing on Trickster, they were going to tap it anyway. But there's a prowess trigger, there's a Rift Bolt. There's another Suspir. And a Secure the Critic. So really, really good hand from our opponent on the play here. If you've used all their mana every turn, and we're going down to 6, we're dead. We're dead. We can... Yeah, I just don't see how we're gonna... I mean, we could, like, Tide Shaper one of their lands, and maybe put them off. Like, their hands like Boros Charm. That's, like, a possibility. Alright, so that's on island now. Flips tapped. Now a question of, like, do we attack? If so, with what? Our blocks aren't great, obviously. They're at 16. So, like, trying to figure out, like, what needs to happen for us to win this game. They need to have, like, 2 white cards in their hand and not be able to cast them. They also missed a land drop. This was their turn 3. So they have 2 spells in their hand. I'm going to attack with one of these. We can double block one of these. Maybe we can't block the other anyway. We're pretty dead to, like, you know, a lightning bolt or 2, but there's not really much we can do about it. So let's push a little bit of damage. Set up for a double block. Hope their hand's uncastables. Nope, they got the white source and 3rd land, I guess, on time, and they have 2 spells in their hand. So I really can't envision a scenario where we don't lose this game on the spot here. But they're probably going to Boros Charm us, and we're probably going to lose. But we're going to block like this. Boros Charm for exact lethal. So what we it's Lightning Helix, sure. What we needed to happen for them to win this game, it did sort of happen, but they just drew the advantage. All right, they killed the thing. Whatever, sure. All right, so tough game there. Very, very good draw from our burn opponent. And we don't got much here. We don't got much at all, honestly. We're gonna need a fast draw with our Utopia Sprawl and friends. Don't really want Force of Negation or Dismember. I mean, maybe we just want Force over, like, Realmwalker, just to have some interaction point. Want all the 1s and all the 2s for sure. Reejerey is a little suspect, as is Collector Company. Is shaped like a company, maybe. I'll just bring all the forces, actually, just go down to 2 companies. Doesn't really feel good, but yeah, so far it's felt like in the games we've been losing that our sideboard just isn't really doing anything, you know, and that's kind of always been the problem with Merfolk, where Merfolk's always been pretty good against, like, the slower, you know, like, more control-y, whatever decks, but then just suffers against decks that are, like, really fast or efficient. You know, both Hammer Time and Burn definitely fall into those categories of, like, they just do their thing and kill you really fast. While the Merfolk deck can only ever be, like, pretty fair. You know, we haven't really had a Utopia Sprawl draw yet, which is kind of like this deck trying to do some unfair stuff on the play. All right, and once again, no 1-drop. They're in there somewhere, I'm pretty sure. I'm gonna mulligan this hand because it's just terrible. We just need to have a really good hand against them, or we're gonna die, as we saw in the last game. So I'm just gonna mulligan to a 1-drop. All right, we. I guess good news, bad news. We did it. We drew the land and the Utopia Sprawl, but have no other lands. But we have to keep this. We're gonna keep this. I'm gonna ship the. I kind of like Tide Shaper, honestly, as a way to kind of screw their mana up. Obviously, we want to turn to this thingy. Force of Negation is pretty good. I think it's Company. Just the slowest card in the hand. So we are taking some damage here. Can't really afford to just get a Forest with double blues and stuff and only 1 land. So take the 3, sprawl it up, name blue, say go. We draw a land, we're off to the races. So Spear, pretty good. Pretty good. Can we draw a land here, please? Yes, it's painful, but yes, we can. All right. Well, this is our good draw. Don't path me, please. Turn to God of Sea and Sky. So they play Foundry and they'll shock. Ugh. All right. Well, the good news is we can path this, or we can force this, right? So they are pushing damage through. Maybe should wait our turn, but we're gonna force this, pitching Tide Chamber because they have 2 good lands anyway. And we are not going to block. They can just use the bolt to finish it off. I think drawing cards off the God of Sea and Sky is pretty important here because we're so down on resources. They have 5 cards left and we're at 12. Jesus. And the old post-combat Lava Spike. So they obviously have a bolt in their hand and they want to try and finish off the god. We draw Noble Hierarch. That honestly plays. So you get to Master, Noble, attack for 5, draw a card. Chump block the Suspir. Draw Silvergill. All right. So 13 to 9. Got a block here. So Noble Hierarch, do your thing. Ideally, draw a Merfolk next turn. You can make some more blockers. They still have 4 cards in hand. Bolt targeting me. Eidolon. Okay. Not good. Sure. They're at 12. We got to draw a real good one here. Probably a Trickster would be the best draw. Send in the God. Draw a card. Is another land. Put them to 8. And say go. It's Lonely Silvergill. All right. I mean, block. Yeah, Boris Charm, and we're dead. Yeah. I mean, unfortunately, we took a lot of damage off our lands this game. We kind of missed our draws in the mid game, and their hand was pretty good once again. Probably need something for a matchup like this because it just looks unwinnable. All right, so we're 1 and 2. They got more. White. What more do they got? What more you got? You have more ways to kill me? What do you got? Show me. No? All right, sure. So 1 and 2. 1 and 2. Chia pet. Chia. All right. Another Sprawl's hand. We are on the draw. No companion. I can't mulligan this hand, can I? I can't mulligan this hand. Just like super reasonable. It's pretty fair, but I can't mulligan this hand. Bloom and Marsh. Ignoble Hierarch. That's probably the Yawgmoth combo deck. Trickster. Get the old Tide Shaper going, I guess. Not really like a 1-drop, honestly. Like, you can obviously play it on turn 1, but just like not very exciting. Like, maybe that just wants like the 4 Noble Hierarchs. I feel like we just never ever draw our Accelerator on turn 1. We have 6 of them. Hierarch. Young Wheezy. Attack for 3, 2, 2, 3, 2, 3, 2. All right. Untap and draw a God of Sea and Sky. That is pretty good. I mean, just gonna fire up a Lord here. Attack for 2. The old classic Merfolk with a Pearl Trident into Lord of Atlantis draw. It's a classic. Pretty good hand from our opponent. Obviously, triple 1-drop on turn 2. Wheezy. Whoa, never seen that before. Fancy Peterland. Five mana available. Yes, no, maybe. Just gonna say go. They have cord for 2 up at present. We draw a Misty. We probably want to play Reejerey here. Makes our attacks better, and then can possibly untap lands for a better turn next turn. Just gonna get basic island once again. Play Reejerey. Attack for 6. Don't know if there's a card they can cord for here that punishes us, so. Oh, they have Endurance. That is gross. Just the old 3/4 flash creature. Okay. Alright, I mean, the good news is that our Reejerey is still alive, which is the important part, so next turn we can play most of our hand. Crack the Peterland. Cracking Peterland's definitely a sign of weakness. I mean, cracking your 3rd land on turn 3 really means that you got a lot of lands, not a lot of gas, probably. So that's good at least. Yeah, Endurance is probably just a 1-up to cord for, so pretty hard to play around that one, honestly. No big deal though. I'm going to see an evolution here. There's your Yawgmoth, and there's a Birds of Paradise. This is going to be difficult. They don't have the combo yet. If you're unfamiliar with the combo, is 2 Undying creatures and a Yawgmoth. You can pay 1 to put a -1 counter on the other and keep sacrificing each one to the other, which means you can basically just pay a life and draw a card. Don't have that yet. We draw Company. Company's pretty good, but we can go Reejerey, untap a land. Trickster, tap, untap 2 lands. That's not even that good, though. All right. Reejerey's on cast, not ETB, so Company doesn't really help us. Play Reejerey. Untap land. And I guess Sprawl here would be insane because part of the point of a deck is to have Sprawl with Reejerey and make a bunch of mana, but we are incapable of drawing the card Utopia Sprawl, so they'll sack the Wolf, -1/-1 on the Reejerey. Sack. Oh, they have Cord of Calling. Oh, we're dead. All right, so they found Cord, and now they have Cord for a Wolf, have both Wolves, and they're going to be able to draw about a dozen cards and then kill all of our stuff. So I think we're dead. Sack the Wolf, finish off the Reejerey, draw a card. Start doing their thing. So you can see the -1/-1 counter negates the +1/+1 counter on the Undying thing, allows it to keep going over and over again. And yeah, we're just dead here. All right, so we're going to back it up here. All right, again, I mean, there's an amount of the deck is not working, but there's also an amount of like, our opponents have had definitely the upper range of their draws, and I would say we've had the lower range of our draws. We just seem incapable of drawing the card Utopia Sprawl. But it does feel like we are lacking in interaction in a pretty serious way. Subtlety can, you definitely want the Dismembers, that's like not non-negotiable. Subtlety can help a bit, obviously if they cast the Yawgmoth. The problem is if they cast Evolution or Cord, it doesn't help. But bringing in Force of Negation is very difficult because bringing Force and they just cast creatures. Their deck is mostly creatures. Relic is like okay, but not amazing. Because it does stop them from undying stuff, but like they can just beat us straight up with a Yawgmoth. This Yawgmoth's pretty good just by itself. Gonna cut the Realmwalkers. I kind of feel like on the play, we just want to be aggressive and not bother trying to interact too much, aside from the Dismembers. I think we're going to reconsider for the draw in game 3. That one of Endurance is also pretty rough that game too, where like they probably have one Endurance in their main deck to cord for, and they just like drew it naturally, which is not ideal, but yeah, we're not going to bother with Relics or Subtleties, I think, for this game 2 on the play, and we'll consider things for game 3, see how they sideboard and stuff too. All right, so on the play for game 2. Still no Utopia Sprawls. Again, it's like an okay hand, and we have Lord on 2, God on 3, and Company. I don't really want to mulligan it, so I think we're just going to keep. I think on the draw I might mulligan this, but on the play I think it's just like fine. I would really love to draw the card that we built that the deck is like built around. It's so simple too. It's just like, you know, there are 1-mana accelerator, but it's just so important. Modern's a very, very fast format. And you gotta kind of do your thing. Definitely curious if just like playing 4 Noble Hierarchs is correct. Card's just too good. You know, it's totally with precedent. You know, I guess Hierarch's a human for the human decks, but Banned Spirits plays 4 Hierarchs, obviously not a spirit. Put them all against the 5, so all right, so play Strand, say go. Get to painlessly get our breeding pool. Ooh, Yavimaya, Cradle of Growth. So I don't even need to get a breeding pool at this point, but we're going to. So Young Wheezy, opponent is on 4 cards in hand. Fetch my Tropical Island. I said, fetch my Tropical Island. Fetch my Tropical, there it is. Fetch that Trop. Fetch that Trop. And not great when your first creature is a Lord of Atlantis, but c'est la vie. Green, nope, yes, nope, nope. Nothing. Saying go. Interesting. Kind of weird. Kind of weird. We're gonna attack. Let's see what's up here. I don't really know what punishes us here. All right. And get the old Godski going. It's funny, if they had blocked and done nothing else, they might have been trying to enable Fatal Push, but all right. So in response to the God of Scenes, we're going to see a Court of Calling for 0. Court of Calling for 0 has been called. Love it. Hate this Dryad Arbor. This is the cheaty Dryad Arbor, but love Court of Calling for 0. Green, 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 instant rampant growth. You got it. You got it. Carlos. Green, green. No. Good old filter lands, you know? Never do what you want them to do. Green. Black, black. They have turn 3 Yawgmoth again. All right, well, this time we have our God, and we have Ward, and we have Company, so not feeling nearly as bad about it. Untap and draw a Master of the Pearl Trident. So Mutavault screwing things up here a little bit because I can't play Master and Trickster. It's funny because we could fire up the Company, and we don't know how deep we'd be able to go with it. If we hit 2 lords, then if they block, it's bad. If we don't, obviously, we might lose our lord, which is kind of bad. They can't target it right now because it has ward 1, which is kind of nice. Yeah, I think we're just going to attack and cast Company. We also can see what we draw too. So we'd always like decide to just cast Trickster in combat. So let's just move to combat and attack. I'm going to fetch first. Get our island. Kind of a gutsy attack. But draw off the God of Sea and Sky. We draw an island. So we're going to pass priority and see if they block or not. We have 8 lords in our deck to hit off Company. 2 lords would kill Yawgmoth if it blocked. So it's a risky spot to block. You know, they don't know how risky it actually is. It's probably like in their favor a little bit. As long as we hit 1 lord, it lives at least, which is important. So protection from humans. Protection from humans. Big thanks. Big thanks. I want to remind you also, companion article to this video, as always, on CoolStuffInc.com, where there's free content every weekday. No blocks at all. All right, where's your company? All right, what do you got for me, company? We got a Tide Shaper and a Silvergill Adept. So a pretty big whiffsky. If they had blocked, they would have gotten paid off. But again, I think it's too hard for them to block there. So, all right, so wait. Oh my God. Why was the no where the yes always is? Are you serious? Why would the yes is always on the left side and the no is always on the right side? That is unbelievable. That is somebody should be fired. I'm sorry. All right. Well, we're gonna whiff unintentionally because the button is not where it should be. Can I undo? Control Z, undo. No? Awesome. Very cool. Very cool. Yeah. Standard UI is always yes on the left, no on the right. And for some reason that time, the no is on the left where the yes usually is. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. No big deal. Didn't want those cards anyway. Didn't want those cards anyway. We're in decent shape. Although obviously if they draw a single undying creature, then they're gonna combo off and kill us. Yeah. Cinema Clowns here. They have cord for 3 in theory at the moment. Don't know when that changed, but all right, gonna say go. Nope, nope. 1 green. Are they slow rolling their undying creature here? No. Black. Green, black. Evolution the Wolf. And that's just the combo, right? Okay. Well, now they have 2 undying creatures. They can draw cards at will. And undying things come back untapped, so you can't even really tap anything. I think we're dead. Maybe it wouldn't have mattered if we hadn't misclicked the company, but it's a turn 4 combo too. It's pretty gross. So they're gonna draw a bunch of cards at the cost of 1 life each. Hey. Well, they found their Essence Warden, so now they are going to draw their entire deck, because now they gain 1 life each time they lose 1 life. So we're dead. We're going to pack it up here. So I guess it wouldn't have mattered. They just turn 4 to us anyway. Yeah. I mean, it does suck, because I feel like we've kept some hands that were just like not great, but like just not really bad enough to mulligan. Like maybe we just should have, because our turn 2 Lord, turn 3 God is just not good enough in a modern format. But we just like, I don't know, 3 lands, 4 spells with a decent curve is like fine. I don't know. So they're gonna gain a life for everything. They're gonna draw their entire deck, and we're gonna lose. So we can concede here. They're courting now too. Yes, they're gonna court for whatever. Court for 2. They have a Blood Artist effect probably. Yep. Okay, so that's fine. Yeah. All right. So tough league so far. All right, round 5. I'm feeling the sprawls this round. It's been kind of annoying because like we're trying to play this new version of Merfolk, and it feels like we're just playing the old versions. We can't draw the new cards we've added. But here we go. On the play, Utopia Sprawl. Did it. Sort of. It's only a 1-lander, but we're keeping. We're there. We got Reejerey and Utopia Sprawl. Kind of need to draw a land, but whatever. I just want to play a game with Utopia Sprawl personally. All right, so opponent keeps 7 as well. Sprawl me. We draw a land here. We're off to the races with Reejerey on turn 2, which can untap the Sprawl land and do the things we're trying to do. That'd be cool. Tarn land? No. All right. That's okay. Scalding Tarn for Stomping Ground. Bolt my master. Okay. So if we play Reejerey, would have died anyway. So this is some sort of 4-color mishmash. Untap. Run 6. Okay. Untap and draw. Oh, Jim, you wanted to draw a land? Instead, why don't you draw the most expensive card in your deck back to back? How about that? I like them apples, huh? Merry Christmas. Oh, man. Okay, sure. It was obviously a risky keep, but I suppose we were drawing to any land. A second Sprawl would have been fine too, honestly. Even a Hierarch would be fine too. So we're drawing to like 21 lands, 3 Sprawls, 2 Hierarchs. All right, so you got 4-color mishmash here. It's a fairy. Frozen to bounce the master. Devil Planeswalker against our 1 land hand is pretty bad for us. They have 7 cards in hand. All right, we did it. We drew a land. All right. Yeah. I'm going to try and play the Reejerey and Sig out. Plus to fairy. They plus ran on nothing because they already have 7 cards in their hand. Great. Yo, bro. I heard you like the company. All right, so we can actually play some stuff here. So we can do the thing we've been trying to do. So cast Reejerey, untap the sprawled land. Yes. We can actually cast company here. So we're kind of doing it. Untap this land. Resolve. Yes. Float. Resolve. Yes. Just freaking go here. So this is the thing we've been trying to do. We're 3 turns late because we couldn't draw a land, but this is what we're trying to do. All right, so we hit a Silvergill and a Lord. And once again, I couldn't tell you why, but the no button is on the left and the okay button is on the right when it's been the opposite for everything that's ever happened on Magic Online ever. But I'll get it right this time. Fool me once, shame on me, etc., etc. Any order. Draw off Silvergill. We do have a lot of gas here. We do have a lot of gas. All right, and then we're going to attempt to attack, I think, Teferi. We got some boomers. Putting Ren to 1 doesn't really matter, so I guess they're at 12. I can just attack them too. I'm gonna assume they're gonna interact anyway, so like they have they're a freaking creativity deck. Oh, gross. So there's no creativity for the stupid angel we can't beat anyway. Oh, it's Emrakul instead. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We're at 16. Okay. I mean, I think we're dead, but they're 11. Oh yeah, we're dead because they have the 1 damage off the Ren. We'll see if they find the line or not, but it's a fairy. Okay. Well, they didn't kill us with Ren. Very kind of them, I suppose. So we sack all of our lands. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I guess a Reejerey. They're at 11. And we have lethal damage. They had lethal also. They declined to use it. I guess they haven't even used Teferi yet, right? Yeah, all right. Sorry, we're actually dead. All right, they got us. They got us. So close. It was a glimmer and a glimpse into what might have been as far as what we're trying to do with this deck. We did pop off really well there once we actually made that extra land drop. But unfortunately, not timely enough to matter. All right. It's funny, if I had attacked them, they would be at, they actually would have died. I mean, maybe they would have found the line to kill us then, but maybe I should have attacked them with the Teferi. Yeah, maybe that was a mistake. All right, so that sucked. We're gonna bring in Force. Seems like kind of bad because they're a grindy deck, and I don't want a 2-for-1 against them. They also have Teferi. I don't want Dismember. I don't want Subtlety. I just understand bad, I think, honestly. Like, we could just, like, draw a decent mix of lands, you know, not draw 4 companies and 2 lands. This hand is fine. Again, no Sprawl, but we have Shaper into Silvergill, which is pretty good, so we're going to keep this. I should run Dismember, actually. Maybe not. Because this Dismember can obviously break up the creativity combo. Yeah, I should run the Forces, probably, to counter creativity. It sucks to say it's a Teferi, but we can probably pressure it. I probably should have brought in the Forces. Because they're not just like a basic grindy deck, they're like an actual like pseudo combo deck, so. I will say Tide Shaper's been buns. Just not been good at all. I think the deck pod wants play 4 Noble Hierarch. Breeding Pool. Alright, so shock it. Yeah, I mean, like, it's pretty bad against Ransix, but what are you gonna do? Silvergill, draw a card. There it is. We found it. We found the Sprawlski. So Triome, fetch. They have Ren again. They're gonna kill my Silvergill. We get to play the god here, which is fine, I guess. Well, I guess now the 2/2 can kill the Ren, which is pretty cool. So they're gonna play Sunset Revelry, make 2 tokens, and they gain some life too. So okay, it's kind of annoying, honestly, but sure. Misty. Sprawl's basically free. Don't really want to trade a Silvergill for a human token, but I think we're just going to do it anyway and cast this God of Sea and Sky. I should have shocked and threatened company and not cast the Sprawl for... Actually, I'm sorry, never mind. There's no other lines. All right, so dub blocks. Play the God. Hope they don't Prismatic Ending or Teferius. Now, unfortunately, this game we have the mana, but not the companies and like the card draw to utilize it super well. Our Tricksters are, I mean, they're not like great. They can like buy a little time against Emrakul perhaps, but red, green, Ren. Okay. Okay. That's a good sign for us. Return Tarn, play Tarn. Hard Evidence. Crab People. I mean, our Tricksters like might get it done here, honestly. That was a pretty good draw also. So blue. Master. Island Walk. Play. I should have held the Landing Center Mutavault, I guess, but do I want to kill the Ren? Kill Ren or just pressure them? I think I don't care about Ren. I think with the double Trickster in hand for Emrakul, I think we try to attack them. We're racing, not grinding. We have no permanent answer to Emrakul, so I guess if they have like the other, like the Angel thing with pro, I guess everything pro creatures, we're probably just dead, but all right, so do that. We've drawn a Silvergill. That leaves Shields down on Trickster, but I think it's fine. That also means we get a reveal of a Trickster, but I guess we already did that, right? So yeah, they know about it. All right, sure. So play Adept, reveal Trickster, draw a card, another Silvergill, sure. So we are lethal next turn. Unless they have creativity for Sarah Emissary, in which case I believe we have 0 outs. Return Tarn. All right, pretty sketch. Pretty sketch. 5 cards in hand. Another Sprawl. I mean, they obviously can't instant speed a thing using on Teferi in play, so we're just going to play Sprawl, play Adept, and try and draw a something or other. Second Lord here would be good. If they can kill my Lord and block the 4-power creature, that would be annoying. That's a Mutavault. It's a little awkward, but not bad. So I'm going to assume they're going to like kill my Lord here and then block the thingy and take only some damage, which would be annoying. We could Trickster down the Crab, I suppose, for maybe 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. They're still a little short of dead. Attack with everything. Start there. Draw. Okay, that's a reason to play the Land before combat. God damn it. Sure. Crack the fetch. Play, get Dwarven Mine, sure. Red, Lightning Bolt, targeting the Warded Master. Can't stop that. Now there's like not really any point to trickstering one of these. Damn it. Oh man, if only I played that company. Or if I played that land. Alright, so they go. I guess they have creativity on the clue anyways. We can't like stop the creatures regardless. Sack the clue, okay. I mean, they ain't there yet. They ain't there yet. Return Scalding Tarn. Basic Plains. Ending the God. All right. I mean, that's not bad because this company could be really, really good for us here with the Mutavault already in play. Collect my companies. Remand. Frickin' Remand. They're dead though. So untap. Trickster the Crab. Fire up Mutavault and go to game 3. Whew. Whew. All right. Yeah, I want those forces for sure. Bring the forces in. Cut the Realmwalkers. And I don't think Trickster's that good. I'm going to assume they have Sarah Emissary. Postboard. Not Emrakul. So Tricksters aren't that good. So let's try this. Let's try this. Realmwalker has been kind of unimpressive. I mean, most of the decks have been like pretty proactive, where Realmwalker is obviously pretty bad. Yeah, Force is obviously awkward, but oh my god, we drew a Utopia Sprawl in our opening hand if we can cast it. We're gonna keep. We're gonna keep. One mulligan's to 6. Pretty good hand for us. Pretty good hand. We're gonna get ourselves a breeding pool. Sprawl, yeah. Makes sense in the last game of the video. We draw a Sprawl on turn 1 with a functional hand. Tarn. They have a Ren 6 again. Looks like it. Looks like it. Alright. Ren 6 is really good. And we untap and draw another land. So obviously playing Silvergill into Ren 6 isn't ideal, but we're just gonna go Silvergill into. We could actually, I guess, like Tide Shaper their lands. Want to cast Company next turn. It's like Tide Shaper. I guess they have the fetch line on their hand anyway from Rens. Doesn't even matter. Just get whatever they want anyway. Yeah, get an island. I guess we'll just Silvergill. Obviously, sucks are going to kill it with the Ren, but we draw a card at least. They can't up it. That's not bad, honestly. I need double company, so play Tide Shaper, so they go. Now we have Dub's Company. Could have played Tide Shaper, Tide Shaper. That might have been better. Just like make their land an island anyway. Honestly, making their land an island is good in the respect that it makes it harder for them to use their Dwarven Mine. All right, they have Ending and Ren. It's pretty good. They would have just killed the one that made an island anyway. So they could, in theory, just combo us next turn, which would suck. But what are you gonna do? Untap and draw. They're shocking an untapped land. They're gonna ice me? Oh no. What a freaking jerk. Get iced. Get iced, they say. Oh, gross. Disgusting. Alright, we'll take them off of white, I guess. They have fetch line anyway, it doesn't matter, but get iced. Get iced. Fire Ice is so good. Such a good card. Man, imagine wanting to play a tribal deck in a format of Prismatic Ending, Fire Ice, Red and 6, Fury. You know? Good job, Watsy. Good job. Play Mesa. Get back Tarn. Crack Mesa. Plains. Alright, pretty annoying. Pretty annoying. So, another Sprawl. I mean, just going to main phase a company here, I think. Yeah, I mean, like, we just want to get the most stuff in play. Main phase company, cast Tide Shaper, and then hope they can't do some nasty stuff next turn. We get a Tide Shaper and a God. I'm going to again hit OK on the right. And we're just going to cast other Tide Shaper. Not ideal. Not ideal. They could definitely just combo us here. Deal 1 to Tide Shaper Ward. Okay. Interesting. Couple layers here, of course. They gotta pay for ward. 1 damage doesn't actually kill it. Couple layers to unwrap here and see what the present is inside. Perhaps they forgot the ward ability. I don't know. Well, folks, this is the last time I'm going to see you here on a Cool Stuff video before the holidays. So, of course, hope you'll have a wonderful, happy holidays. Vintage Cube for charity is going to be happening after Christmas. It should be a lot of fun. Charity event that me and Jaber run every year. Hope you enjoy your own Vintage Cube drafts. Good food, family, friends. Stay safe out there, right? So they decided to not play. We draw Force of Negation, but there's a freaking Teferi in play, obviously. Big question is, do I want to cast this Collected Company before I attack? I don't think so. I'm just going to move to combat. And probably send 2 of these creatures at Teferi to try and kill it so they can't... Well, my force is actually back on. Attack Teferi, attack Teferi, attack them. I could attack Ren, but like, I don't think Ren does much at this point. So, draw a card. We sprawling now. Fetch a mine, sure. Are they can like, what's this? End a revelry? 12 to 16. All right, that's 16, 16, sure. I mean, maybe I should have attacked the Teferi with everything, but they're just blocking. They're just blocking. Yeah, so the idea was I really wanted to try and release my force, but now that I can't, I'm just gonna cast Company, I think, which kind of sucks, but cast Company. Sure. All right. I mean, Teferi and combo decks is pretty obnoxious. Obviously, we can't have any counterplay to their combo anymore, so once again, going to try and deal damage to this thing. Now they're going to shoot it, though. Now they're going to actually deal the damage to it. All right, so deal 1 to my Tide Shaper. 1 damage is dealt. Play another red. This is actually a really good sign. This is like a pretty low-powered turn for them. Just spending a Ren and 6 to kill a 1/1. All right. And a bunch of mana, too. All right. I mean, the good news here would be if we can kill this Teferi. I mean, now we get the main phase Company with Force of Negation up. If we hit a Lord, we can definitely get the Lord in, so Mutavault. All right. Play Mutavault. Blue, blue, blue. All right. Cast Company. Master, Noble Hierarch. Okay. Can we successfully kill Teferi? Is the question. The answer. Looks like yes. Looks like yes. All right. So now Force Negation's up, and now I'm feeling much better about this game. I can actually play Magic again. They've got 4 cards in hand. Obviously, they've been running a lot, so they could be some amount of lands. Deal 1 to the Hierarch. Sure. Hierarch's dead. Another Ren. Yo, bro. I heard you like Ren. Blue and white. Ugh. All right, so we obviously have to counter this because they build a counter anything else. They have 2 cards left. Living on the edge here a little bit, but should be fairly obvious we had that because how aggressively we attacked the Teferi last turn. Turn a land, yada, yada, yada. All right, unsap. Master. And blue, blue, green. Play Master, fire up Mutavault. This is lethal, right? 9, 10, 11, 12. Nope, 1 short, but attack them. We don't care about no Ren. Draw off our thingy. Another Master. All right, well, they're at 1. Now they can't fetch and get their Dwarven Mines, which is huge. Much different than being at 2. We did it. We won. It's a Christmas miracle. All right, so we went 2 and 3. And unfortunately, we almost never drew Utopia Sprawl. So it felt like we were playing a Merfolk deck from 3 years ago, not a Merfolk deck now. But the games we drew it was quite good. Tide Shaper's kind of Realmwalker's kind of I think this deck needs to start with 4 Sprawl and 4 Noble Hierarch to even have a chance to be playable if you're a Merfolk fan of this format. Tricksters were, they were okay. Reader's obviously great. I mean, you'd probably play 8 of these if you could, even though it's legendary because it's just actually that good. Sideboard felt a little iffy. Didn't really have anything for burn. Didn't have much for hammer time either. Both pretty big decks in the format. Subtlety kind of Ouphe is fine, but not like a knockout. I don't know. If you're a Merfolk fan, there's something here. I think it needs some work, but power level is a little low if you're still playing the card Lord of Atlantis in Modern, which is literally just a bear with a little bit of text on it. But God is really good. Ramp is really good. Company's really good. And the cards are good enough to kind of fill in the blank. So deck's cool. I'm out. I'm Jim Davis again for CoolStuffInc.com. Make sure to check out the article on CoolStuffInc.com. It goes along with this. And also do a written article every Friday. Use promo code Jim5. Get 5% off your order and a cool Jim Davis Goblin token, which is awesome. And happy holidays, folks. I'll see you after the holidays, right? Have a good one, folks. Have a good one. And I'll see you next time. I'm Jim Davis for CoolStuffInc.com.